good evening. I had to think there. In case I said good morning, but it's good evening. Amazing. This is one of those rare evening sessions. So, how's everybody doing? How we're doing? Do say hello in the chat. I've had an extremely busy day today, doing all kinds of musical stuff. It's been brilliant. And can I play over up? No. I never learnt the whole thing all the way through, but I shouldn't I? But actually, just because of like copyright strikes and stuff like that, I don't actually do covers killer tracks. But today, my channel's all about making music, overcoming the hurdles that we face, and also me playing lots of shred guitar and creating electronic music. So there's a lot of things kind of covered here. You might say that the channel is partly performance, partly coaching, partly education, all music related. Oh, there's Troll. How are you doing? But it's great to have you on here, Killer Drax. And if you're not, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. Okay. But certainly techniques that Mr. Van Halen will have used will certainly be discussed on this channel at some point. So, if you're into that kind of stuff, it's good to hang around. Who knows what's going to happen? All right, so we've got Stelly. Good evening. How's it? How are you doing? Oh, Troll. Yes. Eventually, we meet at the same time without you having to, watch me back. But it's brilliant, Troll. I must say thank you for watching back all of my lives in detail. I really, honestly, I really appreciate it, and I think it's great and it's brilliant when you point things out, points that you liked and things like that. It's brilliant. We've got Adrian. Hello from Brazil. Hi, Adrian. How you doing? So this evening, there is a plan of talking about guitars, chatting about guitars, talking about, as I always love, problems that people are having. I'm a bit like an agony uncle in a way for guitar. But no, seriously, I'm always interested in sharing things, which is great, and talking about really cool things that we're playing on guitar and doing music technology related things. Let's not forget about all the synths and electronic music, although I am focusing in on the playing side of guitar at the minute. So yes, all of that's really cool. And I think what I might do is tune a guitar. How about that? Footstool. Right. Okay, getting there. Tell you what, there's not much room on this floor. I'm always banging into stuff. All right, who else have we got here? Hi, Serena, how you doing? Can I follow you up on? Of course you can. There's a Discord link in the about. But what you can do, not on but you're on Twitch. What you'll have to do, Serena, is you'll have to come on over to YouTube. So if you search Tim Hutch on YouTube, you can subscribe, which would be brilliant. And in the about, there is the Discord link. Oh, hey, Kiesel or it's Kiesel. Hi, Martin. How you doing? All right. Oh God, well, that's sounding pretty good. Still got to get my little foot pedal thing. Bass. Oh, it's better. Always need something to lift my leg up on these streams. So it'd be interesting doing this evening stream because one thing I noticed, right, that in the mornings I'm not so thinky. I just drag myself out of bed, jump in front of the cameras and don't really give a thought about it. But later on in the day, I'm like, all right, all the lights, adjusting things, trying to get things like better, and I need to do this, and worrying about stuff, and I just don't have that in the mornings. So it's a bit different. All right. So yeah, the link, you'll have to go, right, Serena, you'll have to go to YouTube and search me up on YouTube, Tim Hutch. And then the link is in the about on the channel, and just while you're there, you can then you can, yeah, and then that'll get you there, and all is cool. Okay. Excellent. So let's think of a tune to do as we're here and people are kind of coming along. So what have we got? Well, Distorted Dreams is always a favourite and a good warmer up for me.
I don't wanna do it no more. I don't wanna do it no more. Got me crying.
Hey, Sean. All right, so yeah, Sean's here. Oh yes, thank you, Flames. Yeah, good to see you too, Sean. So on YouTube, I can give you can. Rocking out. Cool. That McAlpine vibe is beautiful. No comparison. I wonder which bit was McAlpine. The picking, maybe. And then nice. Very good. So, like some of you who have been joining the morning lives, I've done like a few weeks now of like obsessively doing kind of sharing guitar tips. I would say kind of teaching. I've like delivered a few lessons on various topics people have requested, and I'm just wondering now, if having done all of that and all the things that I've talked about with people who have watched that, is there anything that they want to know more about? And are there any questions on any of the areas that maybe I've covered? Or do you have anything that you want to talk about? Improvisation. We did modes. I did explain about modes and scales and like the idea of not thinking about modes, so to speak, and just thinking of a scale. So if there's any sort of like stuff in those areas, that would be great, and then we can talk about that. Otherwise, there's like various things that I would like to talk about, and one of them is I stumbled across a really good masterclass in Montreal. I can't remember, it was like not Montreal Jazz Festival, it was Guitar Festival. And there was Jack Gardner, and he talked for an hour, just covering kind of guitar stuff. And it was interesting. He was in front of a massive audience, and there was like only one person asking him questions, which I found quite amusing. That there was no questions, but the questions were quite good. And he did talk about a number of things that I'm, very, very, very interested in. Legato, time feel. He covered hexatonic scales, which is really interesting because I'm really into hexatonic stuff at the minute. And I've actually got this, Line Games by Randy Vincent. So this is like the latest thing. And one of the things I'm going to do is, because I've got a good collection of guitar books now, and I don't always get, believe it or not, the time to actually sit down and kind of look at this stuff. However, what I'm thinking about doing is having a bit of a study group. So I like the idea of this. It'll be a Zoom thing. I'll just go on there. I'll pick a chapter of a book and kind of go through it, and then everybody can bring the guitars and go through it with me. And I'll try and break it down. Thing is with this book, there's no tab. You got to read music. Luckily, I can read a bit of music badly, but I can get through it. I know enough to sort of like be able to digest stuff. So yeah, the hexatonic stuff was quite interesting that he talked about. You certainly already talked about that before, but I would ask, how long did you seriously dedicate yourself into guitar playing? It's been on and off all of my life. So, I mean, when I was 8 years old, I was absolutely obsessed with guitar playing completely. The interesting thing about being 8 years old, and the reason I was obsessed, was I struggled at school because I had like really bad dyslexia and it wasn't diagnosed. So teachers thought I was stupid, and then I started getting guitar lessons round about then, and I was really good at it, and people were like, well, how's he doing that? And then I ended up getting tested, and and the rest is history, really, because then luckily, my parents really supported that. They were like, he wants to do guitar, he's good at it, and all the resources kind of went into that, so that was really, really handy. I actually went to the same guitar teacher, Wild Bill, as Thomas back in the day as well. So that's interesting, isn't it? We didn't know each other then. but went to the same teacher, Wild Bill, as Thomas calls him. So yeah, and then basically, like, you know, music has completely re-educated me. I mean, when I left, I've told this story before, but you know, when I left school, I went straight into a record deal, released my first album with my band, and went away, rock star in Turkey, came back, joined who is my partner now, the wonderful Miss Wilson, Mrs. Wilson from Freakstar. She had a record deal, and I played in her band, and then I went to university, and I got straight onto a master's program. I didn't have to do a degree; I was too advanced, and that was really good. So it's so the serious playing has been constantly through my life till I started kind of getting into writing music, like writing songs and music production, and that really took over. That really kind of kicked in. It was something that I always kind of messed about with from 19 years old onwards, and then I kind of just stopped the shredding for years and years and years, and then basically produced lots of dance music. I was signed to Two Dutch. They were managing me, and I was releasing all this music. I charted numerous times. I got really good support. And then just Thomas was kind of starting his Instagram and that kind of thing. And he was doing his like mini album, and he did that, and he was like, do you fancy doing something? And I wasn't sure at first, and then he kind of suggested, there's this genre of synthwave, and at the time I was producing like tech house, which doesn't have a lot of melody, and then suddenly I started listening to synthwave, and I thought, this is really good, this is making me feel nostalgic. I don't kind of get that from other music, and it's got lots of melody, and I was just really wanting something that was melodic, and I wasn't really getting it off the different genres I was producing in trance. You know, I was doing like tech house, and I was doing like melodic trance, and like nothing was really getting me. And then I thought, this stuff's cool. And then I just started producing the music, doing all the synths and everything. Thomas playing his guitar over it, and then that became a thing. And then we did the Dragon Force tour. I started getting up on stage playing a bit of guitar, and he was like, maybe we should both kind of do guitar. Then got a guitar of Kiesel, and then that led to another thing. And then suddenly, slowly, I've become back obsessed with guitar. So here I am, you know, for the last, I don't know, it's been like 2 years where I've seriously like had my head down doing stuff. And there's been some really interesting things that have happened, you know, like things I've been doing things that I never ever thought I would do, and breaking like weird beliefs, you know, like things like I'm not, well, it started like I'm an outside picking person only. And then it wasn't. You can inside pick the Troy Grady thing, and then that was that was cool. And then I was like, I'll never do economy picking. And then suddenly that became a thing. I started doing the Joe Bonamassa thing, Eric Johnson thing, and then like I thought, actually, this is a really good way to play. And then, you know, quickly learned how to do the economy picking. So that was brilliant. I mean, I love economy picking. That's my main sort of tool for getting about. But I can also alternate pick, and I can pick pretty confidently inside motion as well when I'm warmed up. So adding the two things together are pretty like a lethal combination. And of course, I'm quite known for legato as well. But that's something I've always kind of had in my playing. And then what else did I do? Then I was like, I'd never do hybrid picking. And then I realized, like, why am I string skipping with a pick? I'm making my life hard. I should do hybrid picking. And I must admit, I found hybrid picking the hardest thing to do out of economy picking, legato, all those things. And I still kind of struggle with it, although it's kind of in my playing now, it's embedded in there. But it's something I've always got to keep maintaining, and I've got to really warm my fingers up and get them used to the strings and get the feel, and you've really got to focus in on the tone. So that's been an interesting one. So there's a couple of attempts at that, and then eventually to crack it, I just had to go, I'm not going to alternate pick at all, right, for the next week, right? And every time I play, okay, I can only do down and a hybrid. That's it. And that kind of, I started then just playing my regular stuff, and then eventually it kind of came together, you know? It was partly inspired by a story I heard Richie Kotzen talking about, like when he decided to not play with a pick, he kind of just made himself do a gig without the pick, and it was awful. And then by the time he got a few gigs under his belt, he kind of had it together. So it was a bit like that. I just had to kind of put myself in a situation of desperation and sink or swim, and that did it. I stopped faffing on and getting my head down and getting it done, you know. How about some showmanship guitar licks? Playing guitar behind your neck, spinning tremolo with your teeth. Well, there. Yeah, that's a good one. In here would be good, wouldn't it? This book is looking like the Serious Jazz Precise. Do you know that Serious Jazz It is. And they're a bit, right, so I'm not fusion, right? Okay, I'm still rock. But you get really bored of your playing, right? So I have to cast the net wide into other genres that sort of like interest me. And I know that I do like jamming over a lot of neo soul stuff. So that's where sort of certain things have clicked into my playing. Like, one of the things I love to do is use the pentatonic scale and just use the ninth in it, like so. When we're playing about, like E minor, for example, you've got your pentatonic scale. I love that note, that ninth. Sounds just dead melodic, doesn't it? So I really like that. And I'm, warmed up. And then obviously like chromatic stuff sort of creeps in, doesn't it? That just started like filling in the sort of gaps really, like in pentatonic or in irregular scales. And then a bit more sophisticated where you're using like enclosures. But like I like doing it in a sort of like rock, rock kind of way. So I'll pick books up and I'll try and pull bits from them that I can use. I thought your live streams were like, no, I'm doing the so I'm in nighttime mode. It's 7. It's 5 to 8 here in the UK. So I thought I'd give it just because there's a lot of people who complain, right, which is fine, that like they can't catch the mornings one. So I thought I should really do a regular evening stream. So I can't guarantee it every Wednesday, but I've decided let's just see how the numbers are and do an evening stream. So that's why I'm here now, because obviously. Oh, and then everybody remember to like and subscribe. I've got to keep saying that. So yes. So such a nice journey out of dyslexia. Who would tell it? Great outcome. Yeah, I mean, it was, and music completely saved the day. I found something very early on that I really, really wanted to do, and you just make it work, don't you? And it's crazy. It's like, music's given me everything. And I believe because, as a music coach, anybody can do this, and it's not just music, just anything. Like, if I had to say one thing to everybody that's important, and that's just do the things that you love, And I know it sounds like cliched, but it's like so important, isn't it? I never see you with a guitar with a headstock. Well, there's one in the back there. I had like a couple of live streams ago with Thomas. I had that one out, but actually, I'm quite like in terms of this room. It's quite challenging with headstock. You're like banging into stuff, and I absolutely love that guitar. It would like break my heart if I got a dent on it. But it's my proper rock star guitar, so actually, I think I'll probably break that out again for the stream with Thomas this weekend. But they're just like the thing is with like headless guitars, when you're in this kind of studio environment and you're working, they're really well balanced, believe it or not, and you're not banging into things, and they just sit nicely on your lap whilst you do things like, you know, mousing about, tapping the keyboard, doing a bit on the push over here. So there's actually, you know, I've got two scenes now for those of you who are just on here. We've got this camera. This is what we call the secret garden. I do all my music production bit here, and we can have serious conversations about things. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Oh, good, WC. I'm glad you like the stream time was a nice surprise. Hopefully it won't be a surprise and it'll be a regular thing. Will we ever see you play a thumbnail? A thumbnail? What's a thumbnail guitar? I don't know, but I want one. Yes, really lovely. Thank you, Sean. Very good. Don't do guitar spins on dual guitars. Wait till the next stream with Thomas and use one. That's a good idea, isn't it? Would you ever get another guitar with a headstock? Probably not. Oh, look who's here. Thomas! Hi. Look, McRocklin. There we go. Celebrity. They just let anybody. That's true. Everybody's welcome. Trolley baby. Sean, I know, right? I'm out of the Chinese food session invite. Very good. Okay. Yes, Thomas. How are you doing? What's happening? Hold on. What's he doing? Oh, Chinese food. So that's really good. Yes, Chinese. I haven't had any Chinese food for ages. But I'll tell you what I really like: prawn toast. I'm on a diet. Well, a day of meetings and emails and messages. Well, that sounds fun. It does. I've done 6 one-to-one sessions and I've wrote 1,500 words. It's like proper hard. Yeah. So, grueling, you know, grueling. I should play something, shouldn't I? There's a track that I found, like, from unreleased McRocklin and Hutch things, which I quite like. And it's this. Short but sweet. Let the shred begin. Yeah, full graft mode. I have a cover of this. Interesting. Yeah, it's a good. It's not. It's catchy, isn't it? That's like back when I was like dropping vocal samples on everything. But yeah, cool. So the other thing is obviously I've got to mention as Thomas is here, that my main guitar lead tone, happens to be Nunchuck. Look at that, beautiful, isn't it? So this is got to be my favorite amp now, by far. Absolutely love it, and this is like one of my main lead channels. I have two actually the same on here. One's just not wide, and one is wide. And engage it. There we go. So I love that extra wide lead sound. Really good. All right. Here I got some drums. Could be good. There you go. I'll leave it for a bit so you can jam along. So I got some coffee left. Oh, I have. There we go. So yeah, anybody who's on here who's enjoying what's going on, do thumbs up and subscribe. Because it'd be great to have some more subscribers. I'm going to see if anybody's subscribing now. I get that excited. Right. B flat minor. Go B flat minor. Actually, I don't mind that. Oh, thanks, Sean. Yeah, B flat minor. Trying to get the hands warmed up. But yes. So, what should we talk about? Who's got any guitar questions? All right. Do you utilize much alternate picking? I see you use legato a lot. Yeah, so I'll show you. Okay, so what it is. So I used to just alternate pick all the time. So very much, you know, the Paul Gilbert thing. Get on a sensible shred sound. So that kind of thing, when I get it dialed in. So that's all alternate picking. And then I kind of still use that, but I use it in conjunction with economy picking. So a good example of this is like the way that I'll turn licks round. So rather than kind of then having to do an even number of notes so I can keep true to the economy picking, what I'll do is I'll use an inside motion. So if you're going up a scale, when I'm turning the lick round, that's actually ends up like inside. And then the rest of it's economy. So I suppose like more intricate things, I might use alternate picking, and then I'll use economy picking for sort of bigger runs. So there's a mixture of economy and alternate picking. So as group of descending sixes, that's alternate picked. So it's all inside motion. And then that long run, that's economy picking. So it's like the two things are kind of combined, really. I really like sort of pentatonic stuff, alternately picking. That's alternately picked, apart from the very first bit. That is economy picking. So the reason I do things like this is because the combination of economy picking and alternate picking allows me to play really weird groupings of notes. Allows me to play really odd groupings of notes on strings. So, you know, for example, like the one thing that I'll kind of show people is maybe it's this. So something like that, I've got 3 notes per string, but those first 2 strings have an odd number of notes. It's like groups of 7s. And then as I'm descending, you've got 2 notes, 1 note, 3 notes, 2 notes. So to alternate pick that wouldn't be too good, would it? Be nightmare. There we go. Descending fourths. So, if you try odd groupings of notes, your style works really well for descending fourths. Try it out right now. That's fourths. Not. We can do. It's hard doing it. No, I'd have to practice that. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting those angles in. That's actually something I used to practice, but no longer do. So something like that, I really like those kind of things where it's groups of 7. Followed by 6s and then a group of 7 descending, I think. 6s. Oops. So it's really good, that combination of alternate picking and economy picking works really, really good. Totally one of my favourite things. When I get it going. So I hope that kind of answers that question. So what was I doing? I was doing something, wasn't I? This. No, that wasn't it. These are my thread. Oh yes, I was here, wasn't I? Right, have a bit mess about on this sound. Break time. Do you write the backing tracks for you? Yes, I do. Yeah, so yeah, that's sort of that 80s influence. Yeah, that's coming from me. So it's just from what I remember from the 80s, and I was a real fan probably through all of my life since I can remember of John Carpenter. And I used to love Assault on Precinct 13 when I was a little kid. I had an older brother, and he had that film, and I used to sneakily watch it when I was too young. But yeah, and I loved that kind of dun 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 dun, dun bass line, and like, yeah, how he put those tracks together. And Escape from New York, the theme tune off that. So all of that kind of stuff was like a big sort of influence, as well as listening to like sort of the typical current artists. So things like Dreamstream are all the splurges and ideas and tracks that are finished and didn't quite finish in the process of writing McRocklin and Hutch stuff. So we just decided to scoop all those together, make Dreamstream, and then everybody can sort of jam over that. So it's nice to have those tracks sort of working. So, but yeah, I prolifically write music. I'll have to listen to it Friday night. I should have a listen to it. The other things that I got really interested in with doing synthwave, though, was bringing some of my house influences into it. So a lot of McRocklin and Hutch stuff has like chopped up vocals and things like that on it for the choruses. So that was like a house thing and just weird sort of sounds and things in the background. But then I also really like vaporwave. So there's a lot of vaporwave I listen. So that was an influence, that kind of lo-fi thing. It's like I'll always use kind of weird like atmospheres, like the one I had on this track, like this sort of thing. Like I love like sounds like that, and I love like writing to them. You know, like you can get like a background like that, and then just start sticking a bass line to it. It's a good start for something. Hey, what else? Need a bit of release on that sound, don't we? There we go. But yeah, you know, you can just start kind of writing stuff. Yeah. Texture. That's it. That's the thing. Hyperplexity. Yeah. Get the Zeus out. Hopefully it'll be in tune. So I think we're tuned to B. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? So the thing is with me and 7 strings, I completely lose all orientation of where I am at with it. I have to kind of warm into it. Are you thinking of getting one? Yeah, it's a great guitar. Yeah. Tuned to E flat. It is, it's great, isn't it? The top on this. Yeah, I should get my guitar light on. Light's not coming on. Oh, you like the shirt? It's cool, isn't it? So I got a load of these. Keep buying them. I've got like various different crazy tops. Perfect headless. I mean, this is great. I mean, I like it. I feel like it's a little bit over this way too much for me. But it feels like the access you have up on the neck is absolutely second to none. It's like got a great feel to it, and it is really, really comfortable to play without a doubt, you know. But I've got to say, my favorite guitar. Actually, the orange one I really like, but it has to be this one. I think on this one I really kind of dialed in what I wanted. Not as easy to play as the orange guitar, believe it or not. Got a Les Paul. I used to play Les Pauls for years. Loving the shirt. Do you find the Osiris or the Zoo more comfy? Osiris. So I'm a little bit. It feels a little bit more this way on, which I like to be. So I do think it's more, for me anyway, personal preference. But I really like Strats. Strats are definitely my thing, you know. I played a Gibson for like years, but I was never as comfortable as I've been with a Strat. Believe it or not. All right. So I think we'll do some more music. How about that? What have I got? Hey Omar, how you doing? It's cool, isn't it, for a jam? All right, coming up with the clever bit. All right. I think it's time for a coffee. Right. So, anybody got any questions? Anybody want to talk about anything? So what's everybody working on? Who's making music here? Who is maybe practicing or working on something really interesting on guitar? Would love to know. Otherwise, I'm going to chill and have my coffee. Been getting back into playing after years of barely touching it. Got my Les Paul and Cortex. Very nice, but it's taking some time. Working on Sykes double pick. Oh, right. What's Sykes double pick? I'll have to check that out. I should know these things. Yeah, sad loss. He was very young, wasn't he? Yeah, 65. What's your opinion on modern guitarists? I'm talking Polyphia, wannabes, and new crazy gen stuff. I'm not keen. I think it's great that, Polyphia, they deserve a Grammy, don't they, for completely revolutionising things. And then obviously you get everybody sort of following that. And I do like the style, and I do like kind of when they're doing, the solos and stuff. I really like that. Sometimes I do find it a little bit sort of plinky plonky, and it kind of gets a bit annoying. I remember watching a live gig on YouTube. It was like their official one, and I really enjoyed it. So that kind of guitar playing, I'm not that keen. It doesn't motivate me to kind of do it. And I'm a little bit dubious about sort of a lot of, you see stuff on Instagram and they're doing that playing. I think, like, I don't think I could stand a full song of that as well. But that's just me. But what's everybody else's thoughts? I think Sean Long has changed and things. Should check him out for the better. I don't know who he is, but I will check him out. Okay. Same opinion. I like Polyphia, but feel like Pose a Guitarist on Instagram copying these new metal bands, and it all sounds, yeah. I mean, and it sounds to me like there's a bit of a formula to it as well. And I know I've heard AI do a really good job of gent. So that's worrying, isn't it? That guy who stole your name, you should sue him. Oh, right, I forgot about that. No, 3 minutes of it would do my head in. It's in, you know what I should have done, Troll? I should have just let him take me to court. Because actually, back to that, one of the problems he had is it was only trademarked for the UK. He didn't do worldwide. Well, you're upgrading all of your hardware, Perplexity. Wow, that's ambitious. God, I wouldn't be able to take a guitar apart. Good on you. Can you talk about the 7-string and multi-scale? I've only ever played regular 6-string, but I see many guitarists being sold like on the snow. Yeah, I mean, on the 7-string, the multi-scale thing is... It's better, you get more even tension across the strings. And then obviously the multi-scale frets are really sort of quite ergonomic for your playing. Especially when I'm doing my bar and stuff. They just happen to be at the right angle. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, multi-scale's great. It's been great trying it, and I'm just as happy on straight frets, really, to be fair. But for this guitar, the multi-scale trem and everything, it's probably pretty essential because like the tension on the strings is really good. It really helps with that. Sweet man. See that full AI Orc band? No, haven't seen it. But sounds interesting. All new guitar numbers 500 crate, all new wiring, tuning knobs, pickups. Wow. All on my mint condition Jackson from the 90s. Excellent. Wow. On multi-scale, the fret angle doesn't change much within one handspan. Easy to adjust to. Yeah. Yeah, so it's it's really, really comfortable to play. So we're up to 9 o'clock, and I think I'm coming to an end now. So it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed the evening stream, and there will be a stream tomorrow morning, so I'm going to be back on here again for my regular morning stream. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a little bit of electronic music. So do tune in because you'll get to see how I can start ideas and quickly kind of get them going. One thing I've been doing lately is you'll probably notice that there's quite a lot of guitar shorts at the minute. So I'll just show you how I quickly make a loop, which I can then do a guitar solo to, and then just, have a short music in no time at all. So I think we'll do that tomorrow morning, and I'll see everybody there in 8 hours' time. All right. Catch you in a bit. Bye.